Yo guys, it's Haunting Lime. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showcasing Shadow Dragonite, which is amazing in the Ultra League Premier Cup. And guys, before I get started, I want to say a big thank you for all the recent subscribers. You know, we're getting close to 300 now. So guys, please, if you can, support the video by liking what you see and also subscribing to the channel and also sharing the video. It really helps out. And guys, thank you for the phenomenal support. And it's all about having fun now and trying out different teams. So let's get on with the video. Yo guys, this is Haunting Lime, and like I said before, we're showcasing Shadow Dragonite, which is amazing, absolutely amazing in the Ultra League Premier Cup. One of my favourite fun picks to actually use outside of the Empoleon Double Dragon lineup, just because Shadow Dragonite hits everything so hard. It doesn't care if you're XL basically. Shadow Dragonite doesn't care if you're XL because it takes everything out. Well, I'll showcase what I mean by that. But off to a pretty good lead here. So up against the Talonflame. So what you want to do is count three Incinerates and throw the Dragon Claw on the third Incinerate, because that way it'll kind of lock them into either over tapping, and then you'll get the damage off, and also you can get more Dragon Breath off as well. My opponent switched that into a Galvantula, which is again not too bad because Dragonite resists the electrical. It's neutral damage against the electric type, so I'm able to get a lot of damage off on this Galvantula and able to get both shields, and now bring in Gengar. So this team is kind of goes around the core of Dragonite and Empoleon. They make a really strong core. I know a lot of people like the Kingdra and the Empoleon core. I prefer Dragonite just because it gets to the moves really quickly and it hits super hard, and I like the ferocity of Dragonite compared to the slow nature of Kingdra, which builds up. Obviously the debuff is pretty awesome, but it's not always guaranteed, so I don't want to rely on something that's basically a chance probability. So Gengar's kind of there to kind of finish off the super heavy damage or heavy hitting team, and Gengar's pretty awesome. It covers Empoleon's weaknesses really well, and it's really good at getting an energy lead if you get a chance to farm something down. So able to take the first game quite comfortably. Talonflame says bye bye. XL Pokemon, not a problem for this team, nothing to worry about here. So up against the Jellicent lead, this is why I like having Dragonite in the lead, because most Jellicents actually run Bullet Beam and Shadow Ball, and you kind of predict when they're going to throw one of the two. None of them are running Ice Beam, so you don't have to worry about anything, and I think I can survive a Shadow Ball. Not really sure, but like I said, Dragon Breath is really oppressing, especially with Shadow Dragonite having the Shadow Boost, and Dragon Claws actually hit quite hard too, so everything takes quite a lot of damage. In this scenario, you have to just shield once, I shield the Shadow Ball, and because my opponent is obviously the Ghost typing, Gengar comes in really well and handy. This is why I like having Gengar as well, because it really puts a stop on the Jellicents that want to kind of get ahead. Shadow Claw, amazing fast move generation, and it really does cover the weakness of Dragonite too, because it's a poison typing, so it resists the Charmers, and my opponent actually brings in a Ninetales. Not the best answer to a loaded Gengar, because all you have to do is just bait the first Shadow Claw, and then Shadow Ball does so much damage. I think Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb would have been able to take it out, but low Ninetales is quite tanky and able to survive that weather Ball as well. So it's able to farm me down, but this is totally fine. I've still got Empoleon, and the back is actually a Toxicroak, so my opponent switches out aggressively, and this is why I like having the flying cover for the Empoleon. Dragonite and Empoleon make such a strong core together. Like I said, they cover each other's weaknesses, and Empoleon takes a little bit of time to get going in terms of its charge moves, but you have the so-called heavy hitting damage from Dragonite, which really adds up, and then also your Gengar as well. So these guys are your shield, so-called shield users, and the Empoleon is kind of basically your closer that doesn't require too many shields, because if it gets locked into a fighting matchup, it's pretty much dead. But it's there for the Charizards, it's there for farming down against and throwing Drill Pecks against Venusaur, and also it's good against the mirror match and the Charmers, like I said. So up to a really good lead. We are going to obviously CMP tie into the Dragon Claw. I'm also going to shield this because I don't want it to get taken out. So my mistake was here not switching out straight away, but it's one of those things. I was pretty much hard counted. So Gengar has one big weakness, obstagoon and Snorlax. Snorlax pretty much, Snorlax holds it. Having the moveset of Shadow Ball makes it absolutely useless against Snorlax, but it hits everything else really hard. Shadow Ball is so amazing in terms of the damage, and it does a little bit, it tickles the Snorlax here, but it's so amazing in the damage you can output in towards Empoleons, Shadow Swampert, or Swampert in general. It can do really well against Venusaurs, so I like the heavy damage or potential of this team, and I know there's a variant of this team where people utilize Dragonite, Empoleon, and Machamp, Shadow Machamp, but I prefer Gengar because Gengar stomps Machamp pretty hard, and yeah, I prefer this team. And like I said, I like the ferocity, I like the heavy hitting ability, and this game is just heavy counted. You always get those games, it happens quite often, and my opponent actually has an Empoleon in the back, so had he not had Snorlax, it would have been a different game, but that was quite a good variant of the team. But yeah, on to the next game. You always don't know win everything, and this is me I dropped quite a lot of points, guys. I went down to about 27-77 again for some reason. I always end up dropping everything down to about that region, and then slowly climbing back up. And I just wanted to do some fun picks, trying out different teams, seeing what works against the XL Pokemon, and I like the damage, man, this team provides for the XL Pokemon. You can see up against XL Galvantula right now, and you're going to see quite a lot of those in the lead, especially if you get higher up in the league, and obviously if you time your moves correctly, you can actually take it out comfortably, because you can also lock your opponent into animation lock, and my opponent actually brings out his Stunfisk. Again, a fully XL team by the looks of it. So I'm going to take the first one. I know my opponent most likely wouldn't have got to an Earthquake there, and he has an XL Politoed. So this team is absolutely fire. You know, this guy is going not throwing any punches. He's going all for the big picks, and thankfully I've got both my opponent's shields, and now I can let this Gengar go, because obviously I can't outpace this Politoed. Politoed gets to his weather balls in 4 mud shots, which is ridiculous, but Dragonite, like I said, is such an amazing cover, and I've got so much energy built. I have this Draco Meteor, and bam, boom, takes it out completely. And now Dragonite can just go down, but before it goes down, it gets off a Shadow Claw. Yeah, what I'm talking about, guys, this is a team showcasing Shadow Dragonite with Draco Meteor. That was a showcase, not just Shadow Dragonite. Draco Meteor is an amazing move that goes really well with Shadow Dragonite, and you can actually get it during the current X event or something, the fairy event or something. So if you want to get it, guys, get it. I do prefer it over, wow, what a beast, survives the Earthquake as well to get off this Hydro Cannon. So Empoleon putting in all the punches, and like I said, guys, I love this team. It works so well together and has so much damage. It's just so much fun to kind of outplay your opponent, and it has a lot of versatility too. But like I was saying, this is a showcase of Draco Meteor and why it's so OP and why you should really use it over Hurricane. Hurricane is good. You can sometimes use it against the Charmers, but most times Shadow Dragonite won't get a chance to build up that much, and it gets walled by Charmers, but it's totally fine. My backline totally I've got full answers for them. So I'm building up again to throw on the move, and my opponent, obviously, I do outpace my opponent again to the Shadow Claw, and I'm throwing it just as a third Volt Switch is about to register. So my opponent most likely will either overtap, and he does overtap here, so I'm able to get some extra damage off, and because I'm obviously at a shield advantage, I can just shield here, and basically, even though it's going to be a lunge, I don't want to take the risk, and I can get to the next Shadow Ball, and throwing again on the third Volt Switch. This again will cause him to get into that so-called fast mode level. He actually survived, so I undercharged that completely like an idiot, and he didn't overtap. I think he realized he was dead, and he actually lunges me again, which is his mistake. I'm able to get to a Shadow Ball, which again proving in handy. Just barely get to it. Obviously I'm debuffed twice, so I didn't do too much damage. So I'm bringing in this I'm bringing in my Dragonite to kind of absorb this extra energy that this Politoed has, because Empoleon isn't going to be that great against it, but obviously my opponent has no shield, so I just have to call the Earthquake correctly, and then it's game over. So I'm able to get to this Drill Peck at the same time. My opponent most likely doesn't want to bait me because he knows he won't survive one charge move, and I'm overcharging here just a little bit because I know my opponent won't be able to get to another Earthquake straight away, and this Drill Peck is going to be more than enough to take it out. Shadow Politoed isn't the tankiest Pokemon, but it's still fairly strong. And now let's see what he brings in. He actually has Talonflame, so Empoleon covers the hidden, the hiding Talonflames in the back. That's where they always are. They're either in the front or in the back. You don't see Talonflames farming down or anything because they don't have teams built around that. And yeah, Galvantula gets waterfalled to death again. So yeah, you're going to see quite a lot of XL Galvantulas, XL Talonflames, XL Medichams, XL Galarian Stunfisks, and yeah, this team, pulling in the stops and going 4-1 on the first game. So on to the next game. A really amazing strong lead. Shadow Dragonite doesn't really care about the Hydro Cannons. Yes, it'll go down to 2, but it can come to tank 1, and by the time you get to the second one, you can already throw one Dragon Claw. and it'll either shield or won't shield. And what you can do is try to catch a move on your Empoleon if you really want to. I don't want to obviously do it because I'll just lock myself into a bad matchup. I can obviously shield because my opponent is shielded now as well, so I can just use my shield, get to the next Dragon Club before my opponent gets to his next Hydro Cannon because of the charging ability, and by the time I throw my next Dragon Claw, this Swampert is going to be going to sleep because it can't survive this Dragon Claw, I don't think. Yeah, I was right. Out comes Gallade. So this is looking iffy. Both my backline is super weak to Gallade, but Gengar can kind of answer towards it, but close combat is really going to hurt. So I stay in with Dragonite just a little bit too longer, a little bit too long, and I go into my Gengar now. Also, my opponent has Leaf Blade and close combat. Most of these moves won't hurt me. I'm thinking, you know what, let this guy go down straight away, let him use his energy. He actually goes for the Leaf Blade, which is totally fine. I knew I'd survive a Leaf Blade. Obviously, close combat won't, obviously, I'll survive that too. It'd be the worst move to go for, and I'm just about taken out, and my opponent actually has an Empoleon in the back, and because I was able to farm down the Gallade just quickly, this Mud Bomb isn't going to be enough to take me out. Empoleon being tanky enough to survive that, and thankfully I didn't overtap there. I'm able to get to the Drill Peck, and this should be more than enough to take out the no, it's not more than enough. This is more than enough to almost take it out, and he knows Gengar's going to come in and try to claw it down because counters don't do anything against ghost types. So off to a pretty good start. Had a good lead. But yeah, the Gallade did really pose some problems, so that was a water double fire team. Again, not too bad, but obviously against Charmers, pretty bad. So off to a pretty spicy pick, Gliscor. I have my own actually, I should really build it up to the Ultra League, but it's just, there's not enough Gliscors or Glygars to actually farm to get the candies. So my opponent actually switches that into Lapras, which Empoleon loves. Lapras is hard countered or hard walled by Empoleon because of the steel and water typing. This is probably going to be a Skull Bash. Let it go through. I think that could have shielded because it's the most heavy hitting damage move, but it's totally fine. I am going to outpace him to the Drill Pecks before he gets to a Skull Bash again. Most likely what my opponent's going to do now is he's going to throw Surfs because that's probably the more energy efficient move, but Surfs aren't really going to do too much. They're going to chip away, and my aim of the game here is to actually just get the Lapras low so I can farm down with the Gengar. But obviously because I switched out a little bit too slow, so my opponent actually had an energy lead, I most likely will end up losing this game, so I'm not going to use any shields. I'm already down a shield. Sorry, I'm not already down, my opponent's already down a shield, so if I can get this guy close to taking it out here, which I think I might be really close to now, not close enough. He takes me out, but it's totally fine. I can just bring Gengar now. I am going to have to take either one Surf, but I might just shield it because I've got that shield advantage. I take it, you know, what a G. I'm saving 2 shields for Dragonite, which again, you know, can save for either Gengar or Dragonite. Both of them really amazingly use it well because having that protection allows it to get to the Draco Meteor and also allows it to get to the Shadow Ball on the Gengar. So my opponent obviously has a Night Slash on his Gliscor, which I've got to look out for. And now I'm going back into my Dragonite because I know I have a move stored, and this is going to do quite a lot of damage. I need to force my opponent to switch out. He actually has a fighter in the back, Machamp. Machamp, mate, you don't like anything, you don't like the Dragonite or the Gengar, so you're in a pretty bad matchup right now. You know, so I get the first Dragon Claw. So here I'm debating, should I just let it go? And I am going to let it go because this cross chop is just going to take me out, but the counters won't do too much. So what I can do is fully farm this Machamp down, get a bit of lag there. The GBL's been lagging quite a bit recently. We get a bit of lag there. I knew it wouldn't get to a Rock Slide, so I predicted that really carefully, and I'm able to get to the Shadow Ball, I think, or a Shadow Claw. It's going to Shadow Ball. It's going to be more than enough to take the Gliscor out. So I still had a shield. So flexing on my opponent there with a shield, putting in that pose, you know, GG, well played. On to the next game. So again, this team was super fun. It's really just exhilarating. Oh, yeah, someone's here to destroy my fun right now with the Galarian Stunfisk lead. So having that Gengar save switch is really key because you can also use Snorlax as a save switch, Kingdra. I'm not really a big fan of Kingdra as a save switch. I mean, it is a really good save switch. I prefer Gyarados because it gets to charge really quickly. Obviously against the Galarian Stunfisk, Kingdra will be slightly better because they take resistant damage, but obviously go for the Earthquake. They both, I think Kingdra and Gyarados have very similar play. I just prefer the ability for Gyarados to get to Crunch and Aqua Tails against certain Pokemon for the matchups. My opponent doesn't shield here, which is his mistake. Again, I've got to try Dragonite to cover for the weakness of Empoleon in the Venusaur, and obviously Gengar can take a Frenzy Plant quite comfortably as well. So I bring in my Empoleon here because I want to get ahead on energy. I know I can survive the Frenzy Plant, so I'm going to let it obviously go through. I'm able to get quite a lot of farm, up a shield, still got a really healthy Dragonite, and I want to see what opponent's been bringing. Obviously, if he goes for the, he actually has a Galvantula, which is kind of getting scary now. He actually gets one wall switch through, so I want to make sure I count my opponent's moves correctly. I switch out into Dragonite here, and my opponent switches out, so he's actually got 2 wall switches, so I think I lost count a little bit. So look at this, guys. Like I said, having 2 shields for Dragonite is pretty strong, and you're going to see me going to town with this Galarian Stunfisk. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like, I didn't think Draco Meteor would do so much damage against this Galarian Stunfisk, but I was surprised. Like, this is one of the reasons why I say Draco Meteor is just so awesome against this. And look at this, I'm actually able to farm it down even though I had an attack debuff. And now my opponent comes in with his Galvantula, and he has 3 wall switches now. But I throw the move right around time, and my opponent actually throws another one now because he overtapped. He's able to farm me down, so I thought my play was to come in with Empoleon and try to catch and move, but because obviously my opponent overtapped, I should have waited 1 turn and then caught it. And look how close this is. Look how close this is. If my opponent didn't farm down, it would have been quite close, so I should have just tried to time that correctly to catch the move rather than bringing my Empoleon to kind of just die, because I just kind of missed the timing just a little bit because I needed my Dragonite to kind of not be debuffed. Or did I need it to be debuffed? I just didn't. It's not a defense debuff. It would have survived 1 discharge. So I misplayed that heavily actually. So I could have done that better. So it's one of the reasons, guys, you watch your own gameplays back, because you can learn quite a lot. But obviously in those moments you kind of do get a little bit panicky. And this is another game where I didn't think, I didn't know the matchup fully correctly. Surfetched is quite strong against Dragonite. It can actually counter it down. Yeah, my opponent switches out. He's actually got a triple counter team. So my team is strong-ish, but seeing the obstagoon, I really can't switch out. So like I said, obstagoon can be a problem for this team in the back. And it has a decent matchup against Dragonite because he can get to the night slashes pretty quickly. And here I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw. If he takes it out, there's a chance to win this game. And I'm able to go. And I quickly tried to switch into my Empoleon here, thinking that he's going to stay in, and I want to get some damage off or get the waterfall damage off. And he actually brings out an Escavalier, which is able to farm me down, almost able to farm me down. I bring in my Gengar because I'm an idiot. I really should have bought my Empoleon and taken the drill run, and that way my opponent wouldn't have had any energy left, and then Gengar would have been a lot safer. But obviously, because I've already used both my shields, I'm in that place where there's nothing I can really do. This is pretty much a GG. His whole counter team counters my team to a certain degree, because you've got Obstagoon, which really handles the Gengar, and you also have the Escavalier, which gets to the drill runes, which can actually do quite a lot of damage against the Gengar. If Gengar can get Shadow Ball, he has the chance, but nope. And obviously Surfetched also has Night Slash and Leaf Blade, so his team really heavily counters my backline, and Dragonite can only do so much with shields. So it is what it is, guys. I did try, but you can't win them all. But yeah, again, this team is super fun to use. I really enjoy, Draco Meteoring a lot of stuff. It just hits so hard, and it's so satisfying to see what you can take out with Draco Meteor. And I've also included some recent clips of me using Shadow Dragon against other teams. So they're not this showcase, but it's just you can see how much damage Shadow Draco Meteor does against certain XL Pokemon, and yeah, it's pretty sweet. So off to a pretty decent lead. This Kingdras always do shield if a Shadow Ball, so I really should always throw a Shadow Punch, but I don't want to get baited, if that makes sense. I don't want to throw the bait and it doesn't do anything. So here I basically shield up this Octazooka like an idiot, and I get the debuff as well, and thankfully I'm able to get both shields from my opponent, and I didn't think I could get to the Shadow Ball. I think I could, but I think I threw the Shadow Punch because I wasn't sure if I was able to make it. Here, I'm gonna let it go. It actually goes for an Octazooka. I knew it wasn't going to be I got the attack debuff as well, great, twice. I obviously wouldn't get taken out by the Outrage because he wouldn't have the Outrage by now. So now I switch out into my Empoleon, and Empoleon has a slight energy lead on this Drifloon, and because Drifloon didn't actually go for the Icy Wind straight away, and for some reason his Drifloon is taking a lot of damage, I can survive a Shadow Ball pretty comfortably. Empoleon is fairly tanky in the Ultra League, and we'll take it out, and one more Waterfall will take out this, well, no, he has a Stunfisk in the back. So thankfully I was able to farm down the dribble him, and he didn't throw an icy wind. I also got a shield, which is great because now I can. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm letting my Empoleon go. It's because I know I'm gonna go for the Draco Meteor. I've got a shield. This is it, guys. I'm gonna go for the big move. End it on a high. Let's go for it. I knew I could obviously shield the rock slide, and my opponent backs out. He doesn't let me go for the Draco Meteor, which would have basically gone boom for the end game, and able to go 3-2 in this set, guys. So pretty good. Pretty fun team, guys. If you want to try out something different, now that I'm a bit legend, it's pretty good to kind of not worry about my elo and trying out different teams. But yeah, Shadow Dragonite is really great against XL Pokemon. It doesn't care if they're XL, it just throws everything out with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw, and Draco Meteor is just for the for the epic booms. So guys, thank you for watching. Please like my video and share, and also hopefully if you like what you see, subscribe to my channel for more good content. Guys, thank you. Bye bye.